of the day. Omaha Vicious going to be taking on Tampa Bay Damage. Big game for Omaha Vicious. They struggled earlier on as they got beat up by Impact. And Damage, they look pretty strong as they took down Chicago Aftershock 7-1. Guys, what do you think about this matchup?
You know, actually, big understanding. Chris Hooker's not here, and I was talking to Miss Bortle on the way out, and
his back finally went out.
Threw his back out. I mean, and that guy is a tremendous player for these guys.
Well, the big thing with Chris Hooker is he's the Mike Paxton, he's the Dave Baines, he's the Yosh Rao, he's the Jason Edwards of that team, and he shoots a ton of guys off the break. You're looking at Vicious on the field right now. I went to a practice in Omaha one time, and I watched Chris Hooker, and there's 0% exaggeration in this. I watched Chris Hooker shoot a guy off the break like 15 points in a row. It was ridiculous how good of a shot he was. It blew me away, and that was the first time that I really understood what Chris Hooker brings to this team. Now, there's no back center out there, and he's not one of the more mobile guys in the league. But that being said, it's like Travis Szymanski. He's not very mobile either. You put Travis out there, and he's going to shoot someone off the break 70 to 80% of the time. And it's like, you want to make your front guys good? Well, shoot the guy in front of them. That's the best way to make them look really good. And Chris Hooker was really dominant at that. They don't have him here, but this field layout should totally lend to the strengths of Omaha Vicious. Now you're looking at Tampa Bay Damage. Talking about strengths, man, they got strengths across the board.
Now, has Brian Smith played today? I haven't been here all day, so I apologize.
Brian Smith played pretty good out there.
Has he played in Brian Smith style, though? That's a question.
Not yet. I would not say that he's playing up to where he was when he left the game yet, but they've only had one game, and they played Shock, and it was kind of a team effort out there.
He's one of those players,
but he did play good. Like Smith was out there, he was contributing, he was getting to spots, he was running guys down. He wasn't out there single-handedly winning points like we've seen him do in Tampa Bay's past, but maybe he's just keeping a little reserve in the tank.
Yeah. For the E-Finals.
Yeah.
We need to take an online poll. I think, personally, that Todd has lost weight. So I think that's a great online poll. I think we should pull up
I'm going to go with yes.
I think so, too. I mean, maybe in the jawline, but we have 3 seconds ready. Let's see Vicious Damage breakout, split screen breakout right here, Maddie.
Here we go on the split screen. Omaha Vicious on your left-hand side and Tampa Bay Damage on the right-hand side. Here we go, last game of the day. Season opener here in Dallas at Cousins Paintball Park.
And Vicious getting bodies out alive, which is something that they struggled with a lot earlier. Now that they got their bodies alive, let's see if they can coordinate something, start working together. They got 3 bodies on the Dorito side. They're already up in Dorito 3.
Losing Park and Rosenthal on the break on this snake side of the corner, though.
Yeah, and Brian Smith coming off early as well. So it's 4 on 4. No one in the snake for either team.
And also Phil Kank, also on the Dorito side coming off. You see on the far side, also filling the hole right there. Number 65 also over here. Sosman for Omaha Vicious coming out on the snake side as well.
Yeah, there we see that speed from bunker to bunker from Chad Bouchier. Gets up out of his spot, sees Trevor Racer going to that 50 Dorito, immediately comes up, bunkers him out.
That's one thing we said about Maddie about Damage. All those guys have like 75 abs. They're like super fast. It's ridiculous.
They got 12 packs.
Seriously, man. It makes me not so happy.
It makes me feel tubby. So Timmy Probst getting into Snake 2. You're looking at him on your screen right there, trying to chop up down that Dorito side and keeping the push from, and here comes Vicious.
Probst also in that conversation. Probst is the #1 player right now, actually #2 right now on this tournament so far, Matty.
Well, that's actually not surprising. Timmy's one of those quiet killers. Doesn't really talk about himself a lot. He plays a little, I wouldn't say conservative, because he can be very aggressive, as we just totally commentator jinx him right now as he gets shot out of his bunker. That's happened twice today. It's real bad so far.
But also, look at Brian Bortle. Brian Bortle finally, having a game. I mean, I've been seeing, we talked about him earlier, how good a player he is.
Todd, it goes back to what you were saying. Tell me, let's repeat again what Vicious, what do you want to see out of Vicious?
I want to see Vicious really get Brian Bortle coming this way with Shane Colby and Trevor Racer. I mean, we saw Trevor go to the Dorito side of this game, which he was going up the middle a lot the first game very ineffectively. But, I mean, Brian Bortle came to the Snake side and looked to the Dorito side a lot. He was trying to give his guys a little bit better opportunity over there.
And where's Phil Kank? Phil Kank was he was the best player on Vicious last year, highest ranked guy by far.
Well, they just sent, we'll talk about it a little more when we get back from this commercial. We'll be right back.
JT Splatmaster is here to get you in the game.
Target up top.
It accurately shoots up to 100+ feet with awesome ammo that splats when it hits. And the JT Splatmaster has intense pump action.
Clear the play. Did you crush my begonias?
JT Splatmaster. Get in the game. You can look for the JT Splatmaster in the sporting goods section at these fine retailers or at jtsplatmaster.com. For ages 9 and up. Must be 18 or older to purchase. Adult supervision required. JT Splatmaster and accessories sold separately. Optics goggles.
So we're back here. And Todd, break this down again.
Okay, so they had Trevor Racer was really not getting much done up the middle of the field, so they put him first over there on the Dorito side. But what I don't like is the fact that Vicious really, I mean, I wasn't in any of their practices, but what they really started to develop last year was that combination of Brian Bortle and Trevor playing together. You know, because when you're playing with somebody, I mean, you get to know their tendencies, you know what they're thinking, you know what they feel.
It's a
and now you're
symbiotic
gonna
link.
split them up.
Yeah, it's a symbiotic link, and it becomes an unsaid thing, and that's why Dynasty's been so good over the years. That's why the Russians were great when they were great. I mean, you have these relationships where you're playing, you see a guy move, you see his tendencies, you see his body slowly or like just slightly shift to one side, and you already know he's going to make that move, and you play off that Chris, and you were one of those guys. You did that all the time because you play with guys like John Richardson. You and Johnny were a great tag team now.
But on the flip side, when you saw me do that, you knew what I was going to do. On the flip side, too. So on the breakout right here, all the way to Brian Bortle making the move in the middle, taking shot. Also, Tampa Bay Damage taking a loss as well. 4-on-4.
Yeah, and that's a big Jason Edwards, man. He's going to come off. And Jason Edwards, 0 confirmed kills so far here in this game. Dan Holliday's got a confirmed kill. Brian Bortle gets shot out. So does Parker Rosenthal, and those Holiday getting us kills.
Yeah, Parker Rosenthal's not having much success getting out over here. I don't know if Shane Colby said something he wasn't supposed to, but I don't know where he's at and why he's not on this
And
field.
where's Phil Kank? I haven't said Phil Kank's name one time, and he was so good last year.
And Holiday right there on your screen. That guy's Daniel Holiday. That guy, I love just the way he is as a person, personally.
Yeah. Yeah, Holiday. Well, Tampa's got a couple guys like that. Really kind of quiet.
See,
don't talk
we
about themselves too much.
commentated, killed him again.
Yeah.
Former CEP player John Glanville, now playing with Omaha Vicious, is in the 50 Dorito right now for Vicious, being watched over by number 3, Patrick Wingfield.
And Glanville can play some paintball, and it's interesting to see him move over, go
Commentator
Midwest
cursed
game.
him.
Yeah, it's immediately.
There he goes.
It's getting really bad right now. But here we go, finally. Getting down that Dorito side here is Tampa Bay Damage.
Yeah, I think they lost Wingfield as well.
And they're good at counterpunch paintball. I mean, their counterpunch they're so fast at making those secondary moves.
Yeah, absolutely. And Keith Brown right now, he's in that 50-yard line Dorito you're looking at on your screen.
Which is, he's like
uncharacteristic, I was going to say. But we've seen a little bit of that. In the offseason, I think a lot of the coaches and teams were experimenting with their players, especially with this layout, and trying to get guys in the spot they felt were most effective, and that meant changing positions for a lot of them.
We have seen a lot of position changing. It's funny that we're looking over here watching the Edwards brothers on Damage. Jason is the one running up the middle a lot, as where Jacob is staying in that stand-up can, to where this is normally a spot where you'd see Jason in that stand-up can, communicating, closing these games out. Good job game right there by Keith Brown. Wingfield actually had bumped across into that Dorito, moved up to the 50, put the pressure on Trevor, shot him out, and then closed the game out.
Well, Dan Holiday getting himself a 2-pack. Keith Brown, he also doubled up on kills in that point, so Jacob Edwards completing it. And we're going to be right back after this. Don't go anywhere.
Hey guys, it's Dave Baines. What makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball? Not only is the Spire smaller and lighter than leading competitors, but with a true 200 round capacity, it holds more paint as well. Find out more at virtuespire.com.
One of the founding members of Omaha Vicious, Brian Bortle. He's got a smooth style, but Todd kind of getting a slow start this year. so far at least.
I mean, we haven't really
He's
seen
really
him.
talented, and I really feel like he's over. Like last season, I saw some good points out of Brian Bortle, and I want to see him getting in there. I think that's when I looked at this field, I was like, man, Vicious could be good on this field. 187 could be good on this field. CP, they stepped up on this field. Brian Bortle plays an aggressive style of paintball.
Yeah, I think that they need to be playing this snake. Those three guys come this way, and this is where you miss Chris Hooker, because you can put Chris Hooker in that stand-up can, and he can control the Dorito side of the
Put
field.
the pressure on.
And get somebody out there like Phil or whose name we haven't called either is Zach Sherman. Where's Zach Sherman at? There goes Phil Kank right there, all the way out to the Dorito 2 on the break. Matt Sossaman took a bounce going into that stand-up can, but finally we have Shane Colby and Brian Bortle together on the snake side of the field.
Yeah, right there. Also, Damage losing a player on the far side. You can't see it right now. Damage losing one player on the far side of the field. You got Omaha Vicious on your screen right there. Damage trying to lock it down, Matty. I mean, like we talked about, they're a counterpunch team.
Yeah, and this is where we see Jason Edwards in that stand-up can, really trying to control the snake side of the field. You got Chad in the Dorito corner, and then Timmy and Holiday over here mirrored up with Brian Bortle and Shane Colby. That's the overhead view. You're looking at the back of Tampa Bay Damage, top left of your screen. That's Chad Bouchier, right next to Jason Edwards. And then Timmy Probst, Daniel Holiday on the bottom right. And there's Phil Kank making a bump up the Dorito side.
Yeah, and Todd, check it out here on the screen. Look at these guys. Like, they got the solid lineup here. Tampa Bay Damage all locked up here in their zones. Playing some, I would say, conservative paintball right now. I mean, they have 4 guys locked in their spots.
Well, Vicious
and
has
they don't
5
look
guys.
like they want to move. I know, but they have 4. But it's like, check this out. All these guys are locked up in their zones. You got these guys. You got these guys shooting the snake right here.
But look at the shadows, Matty. Look at the shadows on the ground. Is that affecting Omaha Vicious coming out of the field? The shadows are obviously, Omaha Vicious has the light in their eyes. They can't really see probably. They're probably looking right into the sun.
Yeah, well, Shane Colby looked right into a paintball. So he's walking off the field right now, along with Phil Kank, number 33, out of that Dorito side. So it's just Patrick Wingfield up there in the middle of the field on the tower. There's Brian Bortle on your screen right now, shooting across the field at Jason and Chad. You just bumped into Dorito too.
Look for Brian right now to try and get in the snake, because if these guys get in the snake on Tampa Bay Damage, look for Brian. He's going to try and shoot his way into the snake right here. If he gets in the snake, he can get a better shot across the field, Todd.
Yeah, it's been tough. I mean, they were just waiting.
And he takes one, as you saw on your screen right there, in the face, Matty. Or on the hand, I'm sorry.
Ooh, and this
Yeah,
is
and
going to
Bortle
be...
walks off, man. It's going to be tough over here, though. They still have real good field position in that center, though.
Look for Tampa. Oh, there's a move right there. You saw the bottom of your screen. Tampa Bay Damage getting in the snake, running down the snake now.
Patrick Wingfield just got shot in the face, so he runs off. He's lucky not to get a back massage from Jason Edwards. Yeah, Jason Edwards always plays so controlled. He could have very easily
methodical.
Yeah, he could have ran and stuffed Wingfield in the back, but he's like, no, I'm going to go slow. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to shoot him.
But that's
preserve my life.
But that's why he doesn't make mistakes. Brian, or that.
He doesn't give you any freebies.
Yeah, Edwards never gives you freebies. He's just very, very consistent, and it makes it look effortless out there, really. Like he's always in control. And we got ourselves a 2-1 game, still very close, 12 minutes and 58 seconds on the clock. We're going to be right back. We got ourselves a close game, 2-1 Damage right now, tons of time, and we've seen that all day. We've seen quick points, which has allowed some teams to have a little bit of time to come back, but not really taking advantage of that so far. Now, Vicious isn't out of this game by any stretch of the imagination because of all the time and the fact that they're playing some decent ball. I think that you can kind of see Vicious is starting to find it. They're getting it a little bit better out there. I don't know. What do you think, Todd?
Well, I mean, I feel like, the game's gone back and forth, which is good. Some of the games that we've seen so far, I mean, there have been a lot of blowouts. 7-2, 7-2, 7-1. This morning, 7-1. The really only close back and forth game that we had was the Heat and Dynasty game.
Which we expected to be a bloodbath.
Exactly. So I mean, maybe Vicious kind of figured something out how to play it out a little bit, because they didn't really get much of a chance last game. So this game, hopefully, now with what they realized that first game, they can kind of slow it up a little bit, which they have been. But I mean, last game they just lost a bunch of gun battles, got shot out of their spots, and that's the way that Damage likes to win games. We got a timeout on the field right now, so Damage is going to take the timeout. Vicious, this is a good timeout right now for Vicious to maintain their timeout, but to get a couple extra minutes to talk about what just happened. So we're going to go to commercial real quick, and we'll be right back.
While you are sitting at home,
we are now in the Damage pits, and like to take this moment to thank Challenge Park Extreme Sports sponsoring this game here. And if you are in the Chicagoland area and you're not playing at CPX, I mean, their Living Legends big game that's one of the most fun experiences you can have in life in general. Big game paintball is really, really, really fun, and they got one of the best in the business. And it's just a great facility run by a great bunch of guys. And that's one of the things is that if you don't have a field in your area that you can go and compete at and play with really good players on really good fields, it's tough to tier up. And, yes, absolutely. If you are in the Chicagoland area and you're not playing at CPX, man, you're missing out.
Yes. No, the CPX field. Those guys.
It's ridiculous.
And the owners are so cool.
Yeah, love paintball. Just into it. They run a tight ship over there. It's really fun. And
Living Legends.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of those can't miss events in your paintball career. At some point in time, you got to get to Living Legends. And paintball, right now we're watching the best tournament players in the world, but there's so many different types of paintball you can play, which I think lends to the strength of the sport in general. You can play pump guns. We have the 10-man competition going out here. And here we go on this breakout.
And there we go, Shane Colby to the Snake bunker, the mini race behind the Snake one. That's what we want to see out of him, and get a couple bodies on the break right away. Keith Brown gets shot out of the Dorito side corner. Here gets bounce going in there as well.
I like this aggressive play right there, Maddie. Look at that 50 Dorito, taking out number 85 right there on Tampa Damage.
Yeah, Vicious looking good this point.
Yeah, Brian Smith catches one from the 50 Dorito, and that should have freed up Shane Colby to go.
But Parker Rosenthal catches one out of his bunker.
No, Parker Rosenthal got bunkered from the back Dorito, Maddie. He ran all the way down the field. And
Well, Parker died out of the back stand-up can, and man, see, Vicious looks so good here at the start of this point. They had great field position, but just getting eaten up in those gunfights.
What's that guy's name that's really fast from bunker to bunker and just bunkers people out in front of him all the time?
I believe that his name is Chad Boucher.
That's the guy.
Did you see that?
That's the guy I was thinking of.
Cross field, Maddie, the back Dorito all the way to the 50, smoked him, and they got another. Dude, that was an amazing move right there.
Yeah, Chad Boucher.
I'm not surprised.
Chad Boucher, looking up at the stat board right now, first one so far this event, 5-pack.
5-piece. I mean,
wow.
He was gone.
I was speechless for a second. I looked up, I was like, my God.
Yeah, he was gone. He was off to the races.
Yeah, so, and that's the strength of Chad, is his ability to move from bunker to bunker, sees those moments, does it, gets himself 5 kills, and you want guys to step up and prove that, hey, man, we're going to win this tournament. That's the type of thing you want to see out of there. And they're really stealing the momentum. It looked like Vicious had that for a second. We're going to be right back after this.
while you are sitting at home, Storm, Hello, and Houston Heat are here in Dallas, wearing Raza.
And we are back.
Yeah, you know the thing about that game too was Vicious started off, shot a guy in the break, and they were in the 50 Dorito in the first 10 seconds. They had that game
looking good.
Yeah.
They had an opportunity right there. He gets into the 50, he shoots Smith, and it's a 5-on-3. Then all of a sudden, Chad Bouchier appeared, apparently out of nowhere, because nobody saw him, and he went and
I couldn't believe he made
shot the whole team.
I couldn't believe he made the run and got him and stayed alive and shot somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was astonished.
One of the paintball gods came down and was like, Chad, we're going to get it done this point. And he just goes out there and just dominates.
Chad, follow me, Chad. I will lead you.
It is 3-1 right now in favor of
Tampa needs to follow Chad's example right now because that was just phenomenal paintball.
on the field. Brian Border right there on top of your screen. Go all the way to Snake. Did he make it? That is Omaha Vicious. That's number 8 right there. Shane Colby getting the Snake. Look at Omaha Vicious coming aggressive.
Well, neither of the Edwards brothers opted for a bunker off the break there. Just standing in the open, trying to put paint on people.
Getting chewed up by Vicious's push right now. Vicious in the driver's seat this point. They need this. They need the score here. 11:19 left on the clock. Shane Colby, Zach Sherman out there getting a spin.
See, the difference of what we've seen earlier is, you know, like right now, Shane Colby, that move's coming quicker for other people. You know, Shane Colby needs to see that, recognize what happened, and be gone. You know, the teams that we saw that from this morning, you know, like Heat, Dynasty when they played, Excessive, CEP when they were beating up X Factor. I mean, that's what they were doing. They see it, recognize the move, and they were gone.
And look at this right now, getting chewed up on the far side of the field. I mean, Omaha Vicious played a good point, but they lost way too many bodies, Maddie, on that point push right there. I mean, they should have taken a little slow, methodical. But like you said, like when I played, get up and just run down the field. There's no reason to stop unless somebody's shooting at you at all.
Yeah.
You got to be quick, but not in a hurry. You know, try and teach that all the time. Be quick, but not in a hurry. When the opportunity's there, you got to go. You know, you got to go as fast as you can go, but don't go to where you're being sloppy. You know, make that move solid, make it crisp.
Smooth is fast.
Yes. So,
smooth as fast.
It's going to be 3-2 damage over Vicious. 10:34 left in the game. We'll be right back.
With Russian Legion, what makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball? The Spire is smaller, lighter, holds more paint, easier to use, easier to take apart, easier to change back and forth from lid to speed feed. Most importantly, it never jams. Find out more at virtuespire.com. Hey, what's up? Jason Wheeler with Russian Legion. So what makes the Virtue Spire the best loader in paintball? The Spire is tough and reliable. If you've ever run the field and get shot by a 12-gauge shotgun, you're screwed. But your Spire will keep working. Find out more at virtuespire.com.
And we are back here. The score is 2-3 in favor of Tampa Bay Damage, but Vicious looked good that last one.
I would have never guessed 3-2 right now. And I'm happy with this. Don't get me wrong. That's great. I love
it's great with Vicious. There's the fight. There's fight in Vicious, and we're seeing it right now.
Yeah, Vicious very well could be up 3-2 if they hadn't gotten Bouchiered, you know, the game before. You know, but I mean, we're gonna see. This is gonna be a very interesting point right here because, you know, really aggressive breakout. Both sides last time. Again, Trevor Racer all the way up to the Dorito 3 on the break, but they lose Zach Sherman out of the corner.
Did he make it in live?
Yeah, he made it in live, but they lost Zach Sherman going to the corner. Daniel Holiday makes it into Snake 2 right away for Tampa Bay Damage.
right there. That's number 31 right there.
That's Trevor.
On the D side camera in a really good spot. And he is playing as tight as he possibly can in there, just waiting for his moment to pounce and get his gun rolling up down that side.
That's a lot smaller than it looks, actually.
Oh, that's a tiny bunker, man. That's not a tiny little bunker.
Left side of your screen right there. Damage coming up on that left side tower. Good field position for both teams, but look for right here. He's going to come out the field right here in the middle. There's such a dead spot right there, Todd. It's really nice and easy to get up there to the next tower you saw in the center of your screen.
Yeah, those tall temples definitely play a big factor, blocking off the Snake side when you're trying to make moves up the Doritos through the inside. Daniel Holiday also knows that you can crawl down that really long snake and shoot people in the back from the right spot. So he crawls past snake 2 into the 50 snake. Snake 4, where he's got a shot on the 50. Got some shots across the field, but the majority of the bodies are over here on the snake side for Vicious.
But now, would you stop there, Todd, or would you keep going?
Well, it's different spots from different shots, obviously. He just took one in the hand right there. Brian Bortle happened to switch sides and sneak one in on him. But the spot that he wanted to go to was that last snake 2 on the side of Vicious, Chris. You're absolutely right. He could have shot Trevor in the back. But Trevor gets shot anyway, and he's walking out right now. Daniel Holiday walking out with him. Jason Edwards and Timmy Probst in the middle.
We got ourselves a 2-on-2 right now.
Matt,
Actually, no, it's a 3-on-2. There's still 3. We got the Edwards brothers, Jacob and Jason, and then also Timmy Probst alive. And Timmy Probst having a game, man. But tell you what, Chad Bouchier, 10 confirmed kills in this match. That's solid. Solid work out there.
Very solid. And Timmy Probst, this is why you like Timmy Probst right here. He's such a solid mid guy. You know, he's got a front player's mentality, lives like a back guy, you know, and sees Holiday get shot, moves up into the snake, takes control of it again. And then when you got the Edwards brothers right next to you closing out games, you go up 4-2 against Vicious with 8:26 left to go in this game. So another game where Vicious got some good field position, had an opportunity, but Damage, you know, showing their experience, not getting rattled.
It's close, though.
Letting him play it out, shooting a body on the break, and then working the game. And it is close.
It's close out there. Right now, this is one of the closer games that we've seen. And you know, hopefully for the Vicious fans out there, they can, you know, kind of just try to get themselves back in this game, because they don't want Damage to put another point up on board, get that 3-point spread, man. And if things statistically get real nasty when you have that 3-point spread, doesn't look good. So we're going to be right back after this.
ANSgear.com has the world's largest inventory of paintball equipment, including guns, masks, loaders, paintballs, tanks, and clothing. With free shipping on all orders over $100. Shop now at ANSgear.com.
We're back, last game of the day here, watching Omaha Vicious take on Tampa Bay Damage in a close match. The score is 4-2 with 8 minutes and 26 seconds remaining. Now tomorrow, we got some new teams coming out here, and we're going to watch the next bracket play as the Ironmen take on the Tauntauns in the very first game of the day, 9:45 Central Time. Please share across your social media platforms. Let everybody know that the best teams in the entire world are playing paintball right now. And we're going to see, you know, when we set this field ad up, wanted to call it the Bloodbath or Bloody Knuckles, just because it's probably going to get nastier as things progress here. And then Infamous and Thunder, also 187 crew. It's going to be a great day tomorrow.
And there goes Shane Colby all the way into Snake 2. This is what I've been waiting to see.
That was real fast, Todd.
You know, and once he gets in there, just be patient. You know, post up on those shots you got across the field, and now you can allow the other players on Vicious to do some work.
You know,
Shane Colby there, Chris, and you know, Vicious, they got their guns rolling up. They look pretty good. You're looking at Tampa Bay Damage on your screen right now, and they are in real good field position to lock this down. Not enough time really to do that yet, and they're only up 2 points, and you got to be careful with that.
Without question. I mean, you know, but you got to be careful, but at the same time, you got to have a little bit of aggressiveness and make sure you continue doing what's working for you. And being aggressive is what's working for Omaha Vicious right now. To a point. To a point.
You know, that they need that, though. That's one of their strengths. Vicious has some really aggressive players, and you want to see them kind of let the reins go. Just let go of the reins, man. Let those guys go up there and play the game that they have inside them. And that's what Vicious, if Vicious is going to win tournaments, that's what they need to do.
I agree with that. You know, on your screen right there, you got Shane Colby right there, number 08. In the snake, shooting across the field. That sun, as you can see, look at the camera, Matt. You can see the shine from the sun. That's got to be hard in the guy's eyes.
Yeah, we know that the teams do switch sides, but you're right, man. If you're looking into that glare, it's tough to gunfight out of there because you can't read the streams. These players out there, you get good enough at paintball, you start to see those incoming streams, and sometimes you're barely playing the guy in the bunker, you're playing the paintballs that are coming back at you.
Yeah, when you get cataracts when you're as old as I am, you can't see anything, so...
Get close.
I gotta get closer.
Get close.
That's what I do.
This would have been a good field out for you, Chris.
Honestly, you know what? I like the middle, and I honestly, I look at the middle of the field here, and I just got here, but I really like the middle of the field. I think nobody's utilizing that tower.
Except for Shock.
I'm telling you. The move right here, I'm telling you, it's going to come before the end of the tournament. I guarantee you on the break, somebody will take the other tower and shoot everybody in the back on this side of the field, on the snake side of the field.
I bet you the Ironmen do it first game tomorrow.
That is the move. Move.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah. Tune in tomorrow morning, man. 9:45 Central Time is the Ironmen going to play the Tauntauns, and then Infamous plays Thunder, 187 Crew, and then Tauntauns. It's going to be a great day tomorrow. We're starting to get answers to the questions that we've been asking all off season, but
at the end of the day,
for Vicious's sake, I hope they fight back a little bit stronger than they had in the beginning of this match. But it's a close game, and they're playing Damage, and Damage is one of the best teams in the world. And if Vicious can hang with Damage, man, they can hang with anybody.
And also, me and you talked about it a little bit, Maddie. Losing Dave Baines out of Damage. How's that going to affect him? We did a podcast, and honestly, in my personal opinion, it's going to hurt them. I mean, you were kind of on the fence.
I don't know. I think with the strength of Jason Edwards out there, it's just going to be up to Jason to go to the well all the time. And they also got Rainey now, which I don't think we've really seen. Well, Rainey's out there right now, and he's in the back corner bunker. But Rainey is an awesome back player. So
he is.
If Jason is for some reason isn't getting it done that day, you can easily throw Rainey into his spot and get quality performance.
And Rainey's so versatile. If somebody else isn't having a good day, you can run Jason Edwards and put Rainey as the second guy in the Snake, second guy in the Doritos.
He's very consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Rainey shoot from the back center, then take off running to the Snake.
And Brian Smith,
he can do a lot of things really well.
And there's Brian Smith. We were talking about the Snake right earlier.
Well, and look at this, guys. We're seeing kind of a slow point here, and Tampa Bay Damage, they don't have to do anything in this position. If the 4 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock ticks down, they win the game. Now, Vicious, they got to understand that, and you can see Parker Rosenthal getting shot out of his bunker.
Yeah, I mean,
but it was only two of them left at that point. It was just Patrick Winfield and Shane. Oh, I'm sorry, is it Wingfield? Yeah.
Yeah, Wingfield.
No, I think that's Parker Rosenthal.
No, it was Rosenthal in that Temple one.
Yeah. And Rosenthal looks like he's kind of limping a little bit. I hope he's okay. But we're gonna come right back here. Score is 5-2, and it's been all Damage for the past couple points. We'll be right back. And we are back here, the end of the day, first day of the 2013 Dallas Open of Matty Marshall with Todd Martinez and Chris Asoya. And Todd, you were just saying something while the commercial break. Break it down for everybody.
Yeah, like I've already said a couple times that, I really like the combination, the trifecta of seeing Trevor, Shane, and Brian play together. Well, the other combo that was really effective for them, especially towards the end of last year, was Phil Kank and Zach Sherman. I mean, haven't got to go down there and talk to these guys since their first game and obviously right now, but I mean, those were the combos that they had. Play those five guys together. I mean, I don't think I've seen all those guys on the field together at one time yet. I don't think I've seen Trevor, Brian, and Shane really together. And I mean, they may have been on the field together maybe one time or two times, but we haven't really seen them try and work together with the chemistry that they've built over the past year and the wars that they've fought, the battles they've been through. And
they were looking so good at World Cup. They went 3-1 and narrowly got knocked out on a tiebreaker, which was unfortunate for them because they were playing so good, and they just need to parlay that momentum into this year. And I agree with you. I think that it would be I just want to see the best Vicious out there, and we're not seeing the best Vicious yet. They have 3 more games to play, and this game's not over yet, and we're going to be right back after this.
Next season on the roster.
We're looking for a guy that's on our heels every weekend.
My name is Wesley Ward. I'm 23. I'm from Macon, Georgia.
Scott Kemp, age 26, born and raised in Los Angeles, California.
Attitude thing, man, it's one of those things. Some people like it, some don't.
We are in the Vicious Pits. Carl Border, the owner of the team, watching his son throw down out there, Brian Bortle. And there's poor Chris Hooker, whose back is blown out right now and not able to take the field. And this is the first time in 7 years that they have not had him out there. So they're losing a big gun off the break, and they've been adjusting. And
well, you know how we just talk about how, as a front guy, your best friend is that back guy that can shoot a guy in the break for you. That might be what Shane Colby's missing right now. Creating those opportunities for him to, have a body dead in front of him from time to time.
Well, looking at the breakout right here, looks like 4 alive for Vicious off the break. No, and yeah, 4 alive for Vicious off the break. Heavy on that Dorito side. Vicious pushing that Dorito side. They have 4 minutes and 18 seconds to score 3 points.
That's a tough deal against Damage because they can lock down the field pretty well. They can grind these points out.
I was just thinking that. Damage showed that last point is that Damage thrives in this situation. When Damage gets up a couple points, they are so good at locking those lanes down and play that head check gunfight paintball and just make sure the other team doesn't push forward, put all that pressure. We talk about pressure a lot, and Damage is real good at putting that pressure on in these situations.
Absolutely. Todd, what do you think about this right here?
Well, Damage, like Matty just said, if it comes to a lockdown, drag-out game, then Damage is not the team that you want to play against.
Look at it. Look at your screen right here. He's not really doing much. He's just chilling out. And as long as he's alive, Matty, he's not. Nothing's going to happen, Todd. Look at him. Brian Smith is chilling out. Number 23 behind him on Tampa Bay Damage. That's Daniel Holiday.
Well, the reason why they can do this is because they are probably the #1 team in the league in communication. They know not only what each other are doing just by watching, but they talk so well. By being able to stay calm during the games and not get so excited, get outside your mind, and really get caught up in what's going on the field, they can play their game, be cool, and talk to each other without being so excited that they lose sight of what's going on around them because they're talking to each other.
Now, seeing this, Matty, in this situation, do you blow the horn if you're Omaha Vicious? Because they're just sitting there and you can't push.
At this point, yeah, because if you're looking at 5 bodies alive crossfield and all you're seeing is the tips of barrels and the edges of goggles, you have 2 choices. You either blow the horn and give yourself some time, or as the players out there on Vicious, they need to giddy up, man. If you keep sitting in your bunkers and let the seconds tick off the clock, you're going to lose. They just need to just go into the breach right now and see if something comes out of it.
Brian Smith taking one on top of the head. You can't really see that right there. You see him walking off in the field, getting shot right in the dome. Now, either you got to get up and go right here, Matty, or Rosenthal has the ball.
Yeah, there's really not a lot you can do in this situation. Rosenthal trying to peek out around and see if there was any sort of open lane that he can move up through, but got clipped out by the back corner bunker over here. And looks at that, Daniel Holiday. So Daniel Holiday's going to town right now, as he has 3 confirmed kills, and that gives him 7 on this particular match.
Well, Daniel actually slipped to the corner. I don't think that Rosenthal saw him go to the corner, and he tried to wrap around and just got blown to pieces. And, it's when you miss somebody, it is what it is.
So that could do it here. With 1 minute 40 seconds left, 4 points is that's impossible. So I'm going to go ahead and call this one. It's Tampa Bay Damage's game. But Vicious can learn a lot from this match. And, Todd, you've coached at the high level. You've won tournaments as a coach. You won tournaments as a player. You know Vicious very well. And I agree with you. I think that they should have, continued to go forward with the crew that they had playing at Cup, playing so well. And we haven't really seen the same matchups out there together, or at least them play at the level they need to with those guys together.
Yeah, obviously we haven't talked to them, so we don't really know why they're doing things the way that they are. Every team goes out and practices, and some things work and some things don't, and at the end of the day you got to put a game plan together with what's working for the most of the time and what your players are comfortable with doing. So some of the plays, it looks like they're getting out there and they look comfortable, and then they're dropping the ball. Some plays just don't look like they're working whatsoever, but a lot of it really feels like it's the chemistry amongst the players that have been playing together and what we've seen them have success with and have the most success last year. And it's like, when are they going to learn? When are they going to learn? It's like, man, I feel like they've learning. It's time to start using what they've learned over the past 2-3 years now, and just really start to put it on somebody. Every year, we're like, okay, this is the year that Vit's going to come out, prove it, pound somebody. And last year it felt like that at the start.
It did
They lost
start
some
off like
close
that, yeah.
games, and now it's like we're here. It's Dallas, and 2013, and I want to see Vicious come out here and make people worry about them.
Yeah, because the only pickup they had this year was John Glanville coming in from CEP, who's kind of in their area at least, at least their area of the world. And, so yeah, it would be great to see them continue to elevate their team because they have pretty much the same squad, and the squad is really good.
Yeah, and there's Phil Kank and Zach Sherman together, finally on the Dorito side of the field. Trevor goes up the center. And you had Shane Colby on the inside behind him. No, I'm sorry, that was Matt Sossaman because Zach Sherman is over here on the snake side. But there goes Shane Colby.
Aggressive paintball right here by Omaha Vicious.
Yeah, this is what I love seeing when Vicious plays like this.
Yeah, Shane Colby turns that corner around snake 2 and goes straight into snake 4 and starts putting the pressure on the Dorito side of the field.
Who's just holding on for dear life at this point. just hoping that the seconds will tick off so they don't get a back massage before they win this game. Because at this point, this game's over. It is going to be victory for Tampa Bay Damage.
This is all about giving it to them right here.
Well, it's about going out there and trying to score points so they have a little bit better of a point spread. That's big too. But also, it's for that mental momentum. So when they go back and be like, okay, well, at least we played that last point real solid. Can we do that? Let's just do that again.
Look at this. Omaha Vicious running around the field, just not even caring. And, I want to hear from, after this point, minor penalty on Damage, which is gonna do it for Damage. And here comes number 1, Zach Sherman grabbing the flag. This is gonna put a point in the board right here for Omaha Vicious. That was a massacre, Matty.
Well, it was an awesome breakout by Vicious. They did an amazing job of getting up the field. They made their good spots. Going against Tampa Guns, and no, they're going to come aggressive because they got nothing to lose. They're going to lose the game, and there's only less than 2 minutes left. And they were still able to make it to those spots and then capitalize, but they did lose 2 bodies dumb trying to finish off the point fast. But hey, what are you going to do? You're running out of time. You got to try to make something happen. And they were finally able to make that point, which is really going to help out their point spread. Well, help it out a little bit. That minor penalty was on Chad Bousset, who was 10 kills in this match alone. That's ridiculous. We're going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, so what an amazing day of paintball as all of the off-season madness and roster changes and drama surrounding all the top players in the game. Stories are starting to play out. Notable for the day, CEP dominates San Antonio X Factor, who had a great match against Excessive. Excessive goes 0-2 on the day. Who do you guys felt played the best?
I wasn't here all day, so I can't really judge. What am I seeing when I got here earlier? Impact is looking phenomenal right now.
Yeah, Impact looks really good. Todd, what do you think?
Well, I really like Houston Heat. I think that the way that CEP handled X Factor, and then you consider the way Heat handled CEP, and then Heat's game against Dynasty, I really like the way Heat's playing right now.
Well, it looks like they're going to burn the last 10 seconds off, and we have Lauren Kelly, 4th member of our broadcast team, and she is down with Jason Edwards of Tampa Bay Damage.
Hey, Maddie, last match of the day here with Jason Edwards from Damage. Jason, we're kind of used to seeing Damage play a more patient, disciplined game, but on a few of those points, we saw you guys getting aggressive on both sides of the field. Is this a new strategy trend we can expect to see this weekend?
Yeah, we're definitely coming out here a little bit more in the attack mode than our previous years. We also practiced Vicious 2 weeks ago, so they did a lot of plays against us. We did a lot of plays, so we kind of knew what to expect. They did a good job changing up after their first match, but yeah, definitely look for us to be way more aggressive this year than last year.
Good to know. And with Kevin Brettauer coming in to help on the coaching side, how has that changed up your play?
Our plays changed a lot. We actually moved some players from one side of the field to the other side of the field. We're also, like I said, attacking a little bit more. We're not using just like set lines. We're kind of going out and just whoever's playing the best will just keep playing. So
All right, and you do have Impact ahead, who they are super aggressive. What are you guys going to do to try to counteract that?
Well, the only way to stop an aggressive team is shoot them. So, I mean, that's our plan. I can't really say it out there in case they see it. So, we have a plan for it.
All right, good. We're looking forward to seeing that. That's all for today, Maddie.
Yeah, so Jason Edwards was our People's Choice MVP of 2012, and Damage looks pretty good. Yeah, so amazing day of paintball here, and we got another one coming at you tomorrow. Let's recap the scores for the day so far. So here we had the games for today. This morning, starting it off, this season, San Antonio X Factor defeats Sacramento Excessive 7-2. Houston Heat then defeated Chattanooga CEP 7-2. San Diego Dynasty came in with a big win against Sacramento Excessive 7-1, which puts Excessive 0-2 on the day. They're really going to have to dig back and try to win their next two games. San Antonio X Factor getting blown to bits by Chattanooga CEP. That is definitely the story of the day. CEP thinned the herd, and really impressive out there in that victory against a really good San Antonio X Factor. Houston Heat able to narrowly take down San Diego Dynasty, who goes 1-1 on the day, making that bracket really interesting. Moscow Red Legion getting blown up by Edmonton Impact. Tampa Bay Damage destroys Chicago Aftershock. Omaha Vicious getting skunked by Impact 7-0. And then Moscow Red Legion comes in with a win against Chicago Aftershock. And the game that we just watched, Tampa Bay Damage taking down Omaha Vicious. So let's check out the schedule for tomorrow.
Yeah, coming up tomorrow, we're going to have a good game. First thing in the morning, Los Angeles Ironmen, the young, hungry kids, taking on the Tauntauns early. Then we have Los Angeles Infamous taking on Seattle Thunder. Upton 187 crew taking on the Tauntauns. So you're going to see the Tauntauns twice right away, first thing in the morning. Los Angeles Ironmen taking on Seattle Thunder. Infamous second game is going to be against Upton 187 crew, who had some really fun, entertaining games last year in that matchup. The on fire right now, Chattanooga CEP taking on Sacramento Excessive. Excessive looking to get their first win. San Antonio X Factor taking on San Diego Dynasty, a must-win now, I believe, for San Antonio X Factor. Houston Heat playing Sacramento Excessive, and San Diego Dynasty taking on Chattanooga CEP. The last game of the day is going to be Houston Heat versus San Antonio X Factor.
And I'm really interested to see how are the Tauntauns going to play. The Tauntauns are coming over here from Europe after strengthening their squad over the past year, so really good things about their aggression and their level of play, and they're coming to play with the big boys now, so that's going to be interesting. What sort of game is 187? What sort of game is 187 going to bring this year? They stunned a lot of people, turned heads last year. They didn't win a lot of games, but they took Moscow Red Legion to overtime, losing twice, but still hard-fought battles. Then they beat the LA Ironmen, so they can hang. And now that they've had an entire season of seasoning, let's see what they're going to do. Also, the Ironmen completely reborn, and calling them the Young Wolves, stealing that from Junior Brown from Excessive. But man, they're young, they're hungry. Even though they're young, they still have a ton of experience on that team. They could be really scary. And what's Infamous going to bring? They won a tournament last year. There's a lot of unanswered questions that are going to be resolved here as we play the rest of this first PSP tournament of the year out here in Dallas, Texas at Cousins Paintball. Let's check out the highlight reel from the day here. Lots of great paintball action, and as we watched that first game when Excessive lost X Factor, and Thomas Taylor, he had some really good points out there, Todd.
Yeah, he did. Coming down the field right there and bunkering Zach Wake. You see Zach stand up, and Thomas comes right in, puts a couple balls on his leg, gets them both out of there. Nice to see Thomas in good shape. Here's another one. I think that was Jaime Lopez. Crawls to the other side, but already on the run was Archie Montemayor. Comes right down, stuffs him. Closed out a game for X Factor.
Yeah, X Factor looked really good in that first game, and it was just really tough that when they went and played CEP, couldn't get it done. But still, X Factor is one of those teams that could win events this year. As I think that was Jesse Stevens. Yeah, Jesse Stevens getting eaten alive by Thomas. But that was a really good point by Thomas Taylor. Thomas Taylor looked pretty good today. Definitely didn't look bad. And then we have Houston Heat destroying CEP in their game. And though CEP fought hard, they did fight hard. And Chad George, he had a great game essentially. And look at this. And it was Osvaldo Lopez in there wearing it from Chad George. Chad George and the rest of Houston Heat, such a deep roster on that team.
Yeah, I mean, they're so good. As you see, Tampa Bay Damage CEP. You know, who had another good day down here.
Well, Robbie Goldsmith played great. We just saw it. He almost got himself a 2-pack on that move, but he lost the very last kill. Wasn't able to get it in on there. And then this is Excessive taking the loss to Dynasty. And look at this move by Tyler Harmon. Coming on a Dynasty squad, just getting it done any way possible. Look at this. He jumps over the snake, gets the heads up from his coach, and then just does the one-hand gangster get graceful dive in there before he gets chopped down. Look at it from this angle right here. Tyler Harmon, and we always say, man, I don't care.
I
don't care. Just get it done. Get the kills, get it done, make the moves. And Tyler Harmon, man, he plays with such a high level of energy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an understatement. I love that kid. Seriously.
Yeah, invented the aerial burial today.
Aerial burial.
Yeah, the aerial burial. And here's Archie getting destroyed by CEP on that run through, and really that was the story of the tournament so far. CEP turning it around. They only won one game the entire season last year, but after thinning the herd, really stepped up and able to get that victory against San Antonio X Factor. Talk about guys that played pretty good today. Kyle Spica, you know, getting the start for San Diego Dynasty as the one on that snake side, the first attacker, and, you know, Kyle Spica playing some heads-up ball for San Diego Dynasty today.
Yeah, he did. He got Chad George on that play right there, but, you know, the player that game was Konstantin Fedorov, who murdered people. This is Yosh Rao on that move to close out the game, to try and bring it to a one-point game as he ran down and shot Woodley out of that corner right there, opening it up for his teammates to come win it.
Yeah, it was good teamwork too, and then now switch to Chicago Aftershock, and that's just Regan getting run down. And Chicago Aftershock, though, I really love what they bring to the competitive field out here and their aggression. Just not enough is Michael Kovar. He's getting the start as he moves over from San Antonio to Moscow, moved to Europe and everything. And he's the one now one of the ones over for Moscow Red Legion. So, you know, lots of intense action today. And I think that we see it every single event. Every single event, this is what happens. First day comes out, and though the layout is the same as the layout that people have been practicing, there's always slight differences out there depending on the topography of this field, and we're going to see the play ratchet up. And every single team that didn't play today, Ironman Tauntaun's infamous Thunder 187 crew, those guys, well, they were watching all the games today, and, man, I'm expecting some brutal battles that start sharp 9:45 here Central Time. Man, we had a great day and can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. So thank you guys for tuning in. And on behalf of Todd Martinez, Chris Lasoya, Lauren Kelly, and our entire broadcast crew, thank you guys for tuning in to the inaugural PSP event here, 2013 season from Cousins Paintball, a little outside Dallas, Texas. And we will be back tomorrow morning. I'm Matty Marshall, signing off.